What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. The Phoenix Suns are off to a good start this season thus far, but of course their future is very bleak. It's all in this season basically. If they fail to win the championship, well, they're going to be in a very rough spot. But let's go ahead and jump in and rebuild the Phoenix Suns in NBA 2K25. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you're new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. But let's talk about the Phoenix Suns just a tad bit. As we all know, we know what it's all about. Matt Ishbia came in and sacrificed everything to put a contender on this roster. They got swept last year in round one by the Timberwolves. And, they did have, a decent offseason by getting like Tyus Jones on a minimum and got some other stuff, which, really helps them going forward. But overall, the Suns' future is very tight and it's all about winning now or you don't win at all, basically. So we're going to go ahead and simulate year number one. We're going to see how things go and hope that Phoenix can go win a championship. That's the hope, of course. That's how it all starts. They don't have a ton of, things they can do to make themselves better. So there won't be any moves at the deadline. It's all about this season and hoping this team just goes all in and win a championship in year one. I will say, I don't think I've noticed the Suns win it very often in year one, so not expecting much, but we'll give it a try today. Today's video is brought to you by two softwares designed to help you beat the sports books and become a much profitable sports bettor. We're starting on Daily Grind Fantasy's Optimizer. So you play on apps such as PrizePicks, Underdog, or any of these DFS apps. Having a tool like this is insanely clutch to have while finding good plays right in front of you. So as you can see, we do have some really good plays on the board on PrizePicks. We got Lamar Jackson for Thursday Night Football over 8.5 rushing attempts. FanDuel and DraftKings both have this at -132 and -145. So I absolutely love this play. Plug this on PrizePicks. You also have a nice little play on Chris Paul under 25.5 PRA. You have one book, which is Pinnacle at 24.5, and then same thing with DraftKings, BetMGM, and Caesar. So clear discrepancy there. Make sure to check out Daily Grind Fantasy for your DFS apps such as PrizePicks, Underdog, Better. Let's see if Underdog's got anything on the board at the moment. So we do have one play on Ethan Garbers under 239.5. So that's pretty interesting. Champagny. You could take the under on him as well, not as great as value. I also love OddsJam's Positive VV tool, but unfortunately for us, maybe do next 7 days we'll find something. So we do have some plays. So Ethan Garbers of 1.5 passing touchdowns on Friday at +120. You have FanDuel and DraftKings -105 and -106. So clearly some good value there over on Fliff. BetMGM Charlotte Hornets point spread +3.5 at -165. You got DraftKings all the way down at -195 and Fliff at -205. So you want to check out either of these tools. Links are down in the description below to finding profitable sports bets. Check them out. Use code Crushables for percentage of first month. Other than that, let's get back to rebuilding the Suns. So at the end of year number one, we finished up only as a play-in team, which obviously, if you're the Suns, isn't ideal. So we'll see if we get in. We get the Golden State Warriors in round one. Here are your player stats. You had 28 from Devin Booker, 25 from Durant, and 24 from Bradley Beal. I mean, if you end up getting beat in round one or round two again, you have to seriously consider trading a number of different pieces. And we'd probably go talk to the Houston Rockets about getting our draft picks back. But let's see if we get in. First and foremost, we do lose to the Warriors in the first leg of the play-in, and now we get to draw the Pelicans. So let's see if we can beat the Pelicans to get in. So it looks like we can fix the rotation a little bit. So we'll do just that. And here goes nothing. So, I mean, if we win against the Pelicans, we get to rematch against the Wolves from last year. So that should be fun, a rematch of that. And we have the lead right now, but Pelicans are a good little team, and we don't even make the playoffs. So, according to 2K, which I think the Suns will make the playoffs, but 2K doesn't even have them making it. So, yeah. So, what am I supposed to do with those results, you ask? Well, I think it's time to panic. I think you blow it up. I really do. So, you got the Timberwolves going on to beat the Celtics in 5 games. I don't think we would beat the Timberwolves in round one anyway, so it was just kind of basically avoiding the inevitable. But let's go ahead and get into the lottery and let's see where our pick is going. So our pick, of course, does not belong to us. I'm pretty sure that is going to go to the Brooklyn Nets. And now it's time to go. Start this video by talking to the Houston Rockets about getting our draft picks back at this point. So whether it's Devin Booker or Durant, we got to try to get our picks back. That is exactly where this video starts. So let's go ahead and put Durant or Booker, and let's go see if we can make a trade with the Rockets to secure our picks back. So I'm just going to see what I can get out of the Phoenix Suns, to be honest with you, or sorry, out of the Houston Rockets, to be honest with you. So I'm trying to get my first round pick in 2027, 2026 pick as well, 2025 Dylan Brooks, and then I don't know where our 2026 first is. Does it say we have it? No, it does not. So can I check originally owned pick? So it looks like our 2026 pick, is in Orlando. Interesting. So I don't think we were going to be able to get that back at all. So Durant, for all of this, I don't know if we can get lucky and get this to happen, but I'm going to offer it anyway. They're not going to agree to it. What if we remove Dylan Brooks? We have to have his salary in it, unfortunately. So Brooks. So maybe we remove one of the picks. I'm hoping to get a young player and all these picks back, but not going to happen. I'll throw you Royce O'Neal as well. They still don't agree. I can only throw 1 second at you. What about a Kogi? Does that make a difference? No, and they still just don't want to do it. I'm not throwing Ryan Dunn in here. Grayson Allen I'm not throwing in here. That would just be... I could throw you Nurk if you want Nurkic. I doubt it, but... Okay, so... Maybe we remove the 2025 Houston pick. I'd prefer to get a first round pick out of them, but we're just not getting that right now. So I don't know. Maybe we have to do Devin Booker instead, which I'm not opposed to. Like, I do kind of want to keep Devin Booker here, but if we have to trade D-Book, we have to trade D-Book, right? We're like fully resetting things at this point. So I mean, Devin Booker 11, and then we already have Reed Shepard in it, and they don't have to match Booker's salary as much, I guess, for some reason. What is Durant making compared? They're making the same amount of money. Why does there have to be... I'm so confused. Or I guess Booker or Durant's making a little bit more. So $1 million difference is making a massive difference. So 2 firsts, a first, and then Reed Shepard. This is definitely not enough for Devin Booker. Like, you should get a massive haul, but, you know, 2K is never going to allow this to happen smoothly. So not going to happen so far. What about Landale? Yeah. So, I mean, to make a trade happen with the Suns, it's just not going to happen. Like, I'd really have to just basically sell Booker for nothing, which doesn't feel good. And they're still not even agreed to that. Like, that's not even enough for Devin Booker, and we can't even get that to go through. So, yeah, I mean, our best bet, I mean, we can move Booker to shooting guard. I don't know if that was going to make, like, a difference. It probably won't, to be honest with you, but we can try it anyway. Our best bet is probably use the trade finder to just take the best possible value that we see, I guess. Like, I'd prefer do it differently and get a realistic package, of course, but that's just not something I can foresee happening at this point. Reed Shepard, and then let's throw, like, offer another first, still remove 1 first. Doesn't make a difference. So yeah, I think the best bet is to use trade finder and see what we can get there. And so far, obviously, nothing's popping up. Bradley Beal is going to be, like, impossible to trade away, probably. I mean, I guess the Miami Heat in theory could think, hey, if we get Tyler Hero for Beal, like, they might like that. I don't know if they would really think that way. I don't think that really moves the needle. I don't think Beal and Hero are that much different at this point. So we're probably stuck with Bradley Beal, but Durant and Booker are heavily going to be traded this offseason, probably. All right, so I've thrown Durant in the trade finder, and there's 2 trades that I really like for us going forward. So Porzingis and Drew Holiday, obviously I'm not going to do. I'm not doing John Morant and Brandon Clark, as crazy as that would be. Trae Young and Dyson Daniels, that doesn't make sense either. So there's only 2 trades to me that essentially make sense. It's this, or not this one. It's this one, Franz Wagner and Drake Powell for Kevin Durant. So the Magic pair, Paulo Banchero and Durant. That could be something. And then this one's interesting as well, but probably won't do that. Halliburton's the face of the Pacers. And then this one, obviously, is probably the more realistic one. This is interesting, though, because Houston is trading both Jabari and Şengün. I kind of feel like doing the Orlando one, even though I think this one feels a little bit more realistic. But I feel like I've had Jabari in quite a few videos. I've had Şengün before. I really like the idea of, going with Franz and trying to see what I could do with him. I don't get him that all that often in videos, and Drake Powell is a nice little throw-in as well. So I'm going to go ahead and do this trade with the Orlando Magic. And that doesn't mean we can't trade Devin Booker, although Booker would have been a better fit in Orlando, and then Durant probably would have been a great fit in Houston or whatever. But if Houston offers me a similar package for Devin Booker, we could do it. Again, these are not the trades I would do in real life. This is just how 2K works. Unless if I'm overriding, which, I guess you could make the argument that I should be doing that. Just because we try to keep things as realistic as possible for most videos. But I don't like any of these trade offers so far. We can get a young Tyrese Maxey, which I guess is interesting if Philadelphia wanted to try to make another change around Embiid. But, I mean, I don't know if that's something they'd be interested in. Now, Jaren Jackson, Desmond Bane's interesting, but again, not really doing it for me. Hugo and Markkinen. I mean, we could also just keep Devin Booker. I mean, we traded Durant and we get younger, I guess, and we could keep D Book around for that. Now, this one is also interesting. Getting Zion and Herb Jones is weird, but I can kind of get behind it, I guess. We just take the... I mean, Zion can't stay healthy, though, is the problem, of course, with this. But you'd have a Franz, Zion. That doesn't sound like the greatest fit, though. All right, for now, Devin Booker's probably going to stay, but we trade Durant for Franz and Drake Powell, which makes things very interesting. But I'm still going to be on the lookout for Devin Booker trades, but maybe we can wait till free agency to see what would pop up if nothing else does. So I am going to try to trade Nurk here as well. I don't know who'd want his services, but just trying to get off of his salary would be cool as well. But so far, nothing too crazy popping up. So, I mean, Nurkic isn't worth a ton, of course. But, all right, so if we take a look at the team right now, we have no point guard. Obviously, that's been kind of Phoenix's problem. But Devin Booker's probably going to have to just... Well, I'm going to leave him at shooting guard for now. But if we do go into the season with him, he's going to have to play point guard for us. Franz, Grayson Allen, Royce O'Neal, and then you have Oso, you have Nurkic. So, I don't know if there's much else we can do at free agency. Obviously, we don't have a ton of money to work with. But Jalen Williams, I mean, that's a bargain if you could get him. So I'm going to start there. And we'll see if we can get Jalen Williams. So that's a good start. I really like that for us. So obviously we'll do that. And then is there anything else we want to do before we call it here? We can get a backup point guard, even though there's nothing too crazy here. We can bring Monte Morris back to the fold, I guess. And then, yeah, I don't truly know the direction we're in right now. I'm not going to lie to you. But we're just trying to make things happen. So we'll sign Lindy Waters. And we'll go to player progression and see what this is looking like. So you have a couple guys coming back on the qualifying offers. Got Beal down. No surprise there. Franz is up. And then Jalen Williams is up. So that's good. But I am going to try once again on a Devin Booker trade. If I don't like anything, we'll just go in the season with them. So here's the rotation for season number 2. I truly don't really know what our direction is right now. I'm not going to lie to you, but we're just kind of rolling with the punches. I'm staying patient on the Devin Booker trade. I haven't seen anything that I like just yet. Obviously, I would love to just keep him, but I don't think we can make this roster better if we keep him. We have to, supplement guys out of here to, obviously further strengthen the roster. So I do want to play Drake Powell minutes right away. So I'm actually going to play him over Royce O'Neal. I think Royce O'Neal is somebody we could also sell off at the deadline. But yeah, there will be a strong chance I stop at the deadline to see what we can get for Devin Booker. I'm still trying to trade him, I think. But let's go ahead and simulate this season with Franz Wagner joining the fold now. And let's see if things go any differently. I don't know. They might. Maybe Durant being gone will change this fortune for the team. I doubt it, but we'll see what happens. So the time has come to trade Devin Booker away, and we are going to be doing the trade with the Houston Rockets. So this was the same trade that was offered for Durant earlier. Again, in an ideal world, I do think it makes sense for obviously a lot more. I mean, this is a really good trade. I'm not going to lie. So maybe you could argue that this is what happens. I don't think so. I think draft cap would have to be involved. I don't think Houston would send both these guys either, to be honest with you, anyway. But if they're offering, not going to decline it. So we essentially turn Kevin Durant into Franz Wagner and Drake Powell, and then we turn Devin Booker into Jabari and Şengün. To me, that's a home run. We're going to go ahead and do this. I would love to get my pick back as well, but I just don't think that's going to happen. So we'll just do the straight up swap that they want, and now they say they're not interested, obviously, but we just throw him back in there. Same trade should pop up, and we should make this happen. So just like that, Jabari and Şengün, welcome to Phoenix. So we have a very interesting team now on the squad. So now we have Jabari and Franz Wagner, both who are tall enough to play the small forward, but I'll figure that out. Şengün obviously takes over that center position. Nurkic no longer is needed. So Monte Morris will start for the rest of the season. Beal, I mean, I would be fine with just benching him for the rest of the season. Grayson Allen's going to hit the bench, and then Nurk can be moved if somebody wants his services. I mean, he's an expiring, so we could just let him go for nothing as well. I don't think Nurkic would be worth that much. Strus in a second. I mean, I'm not going to sacrifice. So, like, the Kings want to give me a top 3 protected pick. I don't think Nurkic is worth that much. That's kind of crazy. So, I think I'm just going to roll with what we got for now, and we're going to run with this season. I am going to go ahead and throw Jabari at, like, small forward or something like that. But, yeah, overall, we should have Beal potential. Well, Beal has a player option, which he's going to accept. And I want to make sure, some of our young players getting minutes too, but maybe that's just something we can't fix right now. Maybe we could trade Royce O'Neal, who, obviously doesn't really need to play. We could trade him to Pat Connaughton, or, maybe just give me a second, if anything. Nothing. So I'll fix the rotation how I see fit, and we'll have maybe. I mean, we're only 6 games or 7 games under 500, so maybe we can make a run. But overall, it's just all about establishing a direction going forward. The end of the season awards for your number 2, Anthony Edwards wins MVP, which is something I don't see very often, but that is cool. Cooper Flag Rookie of the Year. Capella is in Charlotte, winning 6th Man of the Year. But I wasn't really paying attention to see if we made the playoffs, to be honest with you. We did, or of course we're in the West, and we made the play-in, so we're the 10th seed, so that's nice. So let's take a look at the player stats. Yeah, 22 from Franz, 18 from Şengün, 17.5 from Beal, 12 from Jabari, and 10, and then 10. So I mean, we're not even close to where we want to be just yet, so I'm fine with getting eliminated there. Unfortunately, we won't have our pick, but we kind of already have a starting 5 going forward in a way. Like, Drake Powell's going to be able to start, Franz Wagner, Jabari. Like, all we need to do is find ourselves a point guard. We're in a really good position, all things considered. Now, again, this is a dream scenario for Phoenix. I don't think they get this luck in real life. They're going to get a haul if they decide to trade those guys. So I just don't know if you get those 4 players. Like, maybe you do. Maybe. I don't know. I think it's possible. But draft night, we had a 2nd round pick. Player options, Beal. I mean, that's a team option. Is it actually a team option in real life? Well, if it is, obviously I'm Phoenix. I'm declining that thing as soon as possible. And Ryan Dunn, I'm going to accept. Ty Washington, Jalen Williams, and Jabari are free agents. So I definitely want to bring back Jalen Williams and Jabari for sure, obviously. So let's make sure they resign Nurkic, Okogie. Everyone else can essentially go away. I will resign Jabari to his deal, though. And then I also do want, of course, Jalen Williams back. I don't know if I'll be able to bring him back. Oh, I said he was restricted, so we should be able to in theory. So that's good. So we should be able to bring back our backup 5 on a restricted offer, which is fantastic. So that's great. And now we can renounce pretty much everybody because I'm not bringing anybody back other than Jalen Williams and Jabari, obviously. Okay. Now that things are cleared out a little bit more, we can continue to clear things even further if needed. But let's take a look. So we have no point guard whatsoever. We have Drake Powell as the new starting shooting guard, which I'm totally okay with. Ready to give this man some minutes. Oh, we did look at the player stats. I was about to say, did we show the player stats? Yeah, we did. So, shooting guard, we got our plenty of small forwards right now. Ryan Dunn is the only one I want to keep around, though, as the backup. And then Oso, I do like him as our backup power forward. And then Jalen Williams will be our backup center. So at this point, we really just need to trade O'Neal and Grayson Allen and get like a guard or any type of player out of this. So let's see what these two can get me. I actually don't mind doing this with the Spurs, especially if they're in the point where maybe they're starting to, pick things up with Victor Wembanyama. They can get 2 pretty solid role players. So we're going to do this with the Spurs. They trade 1 first-round pick as the Atlanta. Well, I don't know if you trade the Atlanta pick. That's a little too valuable. Maybe you trade your own because you're that good. Yeah, I don't mind this. We get Andy Ross, who obviously doesn't matter, but 1 first for both Grayson and Royce O'Neal. I think it's a home run for the Spurs. You get 2 really good role players. I like that a lot. So those guys are gone. It gives the full keys to Ryan Dunn being the backup small forward, which I like as well. And we'll get Jalen Williams back. Osu should develop even more. So now at this point, that should free us up enough money to go sign our point guard. Now, I don't think we have De'Aaron Fox type money or anything like that, but we have I don't know. What do we got? So we got Cole Anthony money, I guess, which is all right. Killian Hayes, no thank you, obviously, on that one. But we could probably sign CJ McCollum as well. We have 20. Wait, can we throw? It looks like we have like $20 million in cap space, if I'm not mistaken. So let's see what kind of point guard we could get for this. So Dyson Daniels is interesting. I don't know if we'll be able to afford him, but I don't mind him as the point guard going forward. I mean, he's done pretty good, pretty well with Atlanta in real life up to this point. I'm going to throw him a deal. I don't know if we'll get him. I think Atlanta's probably going to match it if I had to guess. They do. Yeah, so that would have been nice, but unfortunately, didn't really have enough money to offer him. Jaden Ivey is sitting here, but that's just too much money for us. We just need a point guard in general, I guess, at this point. So, Trey Jones, Ben Simmons, Scottie Pippen Jr., Tyler Kolek, 16-2 last year for the Knicks. I'm assuming that's 1 game played or something like that, but he was fantastic. Sure. Give me Tyler Kolek on a cheap deal. I don't care. And maybe we have to wait to get our franchise point guard. So Tyler Kolek and Pippen, I guess, 2 cheap point guards, and we'll just roll with that and hope, maybe one of them blossoms into something special. So yeah, we're going to go into this next season feeling pretty interesting. So let's take a look at player progression. So Jalen Williams is back. So you got Franz up to a 91. Şengün 88, 85 Jabari, 80 Drake Powell, 80 Jalen Williams, 79 Ryan Dunn, 76 Tyler Kolek, and then Osu's up to a 74 and Scottie Pippen 76. Okay. We're going to get into year 3 up to this point. Obviously, year 1, we weren't good. Year 2, we sell the farm. And now year 3, we go in with a little bit of optimism about our new squad. This should be a very interesting season. I don't really know what to expect out of this team. I can't sit here and confidently say we're about to go be a playoff team. And I can't say that we won't be. So let's go ahead and see what happens. We saw Mike Budenholzer as the head coach. It's Kolek, Drake Powell, Franz, Jabari, Şengün, Jalen Williams, Ryan Dunn, Scottie Pippen, and Osu. And we can just run a 9-man rotation for the season. And then we can look at shot tendencies. So Franz shot tendency is 84, which is fine. Şengün's is an 88. So that looks good to me. Yeah, this all looks good. So Franz and Şengün should be the 2 guys leading the way. Let's see if they lead us to the playoffs. So at the end of year number 3, we once again find ourselves, you guessed it, as a play-in team again. It's been 3 years in a row where we found ourselves as a play-in team. I do think we need to make that final move for a point guard, and I do truly believe that we could actually be a contender. But 23 points from Franz Wagner, 19 from Şengün, 16 from Drake Powell, and then 13 and 9 from Jabari, 12 from... Tyler Kolek was pretty solid, not going to lie. 12 and 5. So him as a backup point guard going forward sounds good. As long as we can keep him around, we might have to use his contract to make a trade. But one thing we have not done yet is actually get in from the play-in into the playoffs, and it doesn't look like that's going to happen this year either, unfortunately. So we just don't have enough yet. Although I feel like we should be better than what has been shown so far, but we're just not there quite yet. So like I said, I think we need to make that final move for a point guard. Now, I won't lie to you. I don't know if we're going to have all the money in the world to do just that. So Durant's going to retire in Orlando, so shout out to Durant. But yeah, we're going to have to maybe make a trade with someone we don't really want to trade away. But we do have that Spurs pick we got, so we can use that to make a trade. We could fire Mike Budenholzer, even though... is there anybody? Yeah, I'm going to fire Mike Budenholzer and see if we can get like Nick Nurse instead. I don't know if he'll sign. He does not. So now it would be hilarious if we just... Oh, Quinn Snyder and Tyronn Lue are here too. Can I get one of them? Tyronn Lue's thinking about it, but he's not going to sign. Okay. What else we got? Quinn Snyder's still here. We can get him. He's not going to sign either, so we can't literally get anybody so far. All right, what else we got? David Vanderpool is still here. We can go for him, I guess. Maybe get him in Phoenix. Quinn Snyder, he rejected. So we can't get Quinn Snyder. So we have Vanderpool now, which I'm not really convinced that's like an upgrade from Budenholzer, but we got him regardless. So this is where I want to try to see if we can get a point guard somehow. We're going to have to wait, I think, until after the draft to have more salary. But let's just go ahead and see who we can get with this late 2027 first. So we got Daniel Jacobson, who has all NBA potential. So we'll just take him to start this one out of Purdue. So welcome to Phoenix. He'll be a 71 overall. We're going to accept that contract to have as much salary as possible. And then free agency, I don't think we have money to... I mean, we could sign like a good player, but we don't have any crazy bird rights. Okay, so we need to make our trade for a point guard. I'm not sure who I'm going to get, but we're going to make something happen. So in searching for a point guard, we can literally only afford around an $18 million point guard. So I was kind of looking, and we got super close to getting to Kobe White, but he's making just too much money, just barely. You do have like, you know... I guess Anthony Simons is someone who's interesting, but he just isn't that good in 2K. Rob Dillingham is interesting as well, but I feel like that's going to be really hard to pull off. But one guy that I found very interesting, who's not really a point guard, but I do think he could elevate us, is Cameron Thomas. Just averaged 26 points per game. I feel like he'd fit decently well here in in Phoenix. So I'm going to see if I can get Cameron Thomas off the Brooklyn Nets. I'm going to offer my 2028 first to do so. So Scottie Pippen and all this to match Cameron Thomas's salary. What do they say? They say no to the first offer. Okay. What about a second? And they agree. Okay, all it took was an extra second, and we get Cameron Thomas. So Cameron Thomas is going to play point guard for us. So we're going to play Cameron Thomas at point guard, and I'm fine with that. That's going to give us a big scoring punch in the starting lineup, which I like. Drake Powell should only get better. Ryan Dunn should only get better. Oso should only get better. So all that's fantastic. It doesn't look like we had Collier is out here, which I just noticed, which would have been interesting to bring him in, which we can actually still bring him in. So I'm absolutely down for Isaiah Collier. And then Nick Richards as our backup. I'm fine with that offseason right there. We don't get Jalen Williams back, but Oh, we don't have oh, it doesn't give us enough money for Collier. That's heartbreaking. I really wanted Collier, but Nick Richards was necessary too, as a backup 5. So whatever, it is what it is. So I guess we didn't really need a backup point guard. We needed a backup shooting guard more than anything. But we got our backup 5, which I think was a little more important. But we'll grab Sam Merrill, and Jalen Williams might be back as qualifying offer. I'm not sure. But with that all being said, we can go to player progression and see how much guys go up. So you have Cameron Thomas down because we moved him, obviously. Franz Wagner goes down, which is weird. At 25 years old, the guy is going down, and overall doesn't make a ton of sense. Ryan Dunn, 81. Drake Powell. So these guys didn't develop as much as I thought they would, and Osu isn't developed as much as I thought it would either. But I still think Cameron Thomas can make a crazy drastic change on our team as far as a scoring punch at that starting point guard spot. We didn't really have a point guard last year. We'll see if this pays off. I'm hoping it does. Are we going to be a contender and a championship team next year? I guess it remains to be seen. But I have a good feeling about this. We'll see if it in fact pays off. I'm making a change to the trade deadline. It doesn't feel like this is going to do anything, but it does at the same time. I feel like Franz Wagner is just not a good simulation player. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just the gut feeling that I have. And every time I've gotten Scotty Barnes, it's led to success. So that is my theory. And I'm going to trade Franz Wagner for Scotty Barnes. So we're going to do this trade, and we'll have Scotty Barnes join Jabari. We could move one of them to small forward. It doesn't matter who. So Jabari, I guess we'll move Barnes there, who's obviously a lot shorter. So yeah, that makes more sense. So Scotty Barnes will play small forward. So we changed it up with Cameron Thomas, Drake Powell, Barnes, Jabari, Şengün, Ryan Dunn, Richards, and then yeah, so that's your rotation. So we'll see if that changes anything. We're 29 and 21 on the season right now. I've wanted to be a lot better than what we are right now, which is why we made a change. We'll see if trading Franz Wagner for Barnes does anything at all. At the end of the season, Wembanyama wins MVP, and here are the rest of your awards. So we do finally clear the play-in and actually make the playoffs, which is good. We're the 6th seed here going up against the Memphis Grizzlies. Here we are in the season stats. So you have 23 from Cameron Thomas, 20 from Şengün, 19 from Drake Powell, 17 from Barnes, and 15 from Jabari, and 9 from Tyler Kolek. So this is just overall a pretty crazy roster that we've assembled here in Phoenix. So I don't know. We'll see what it results in. I'm not really sure. This is kind of a wild card team if you ask me. But we got Memphis, John Morant, Jalen Green, Igor. Oh, there's no way we beat this team. Zach Edey. Yeah, I mean, this was just a tough first round opponent to run into, and we're probably in trouble if I had to guess. So that being said, let's go game by game here. So we win game 1. Okay, low key, that's pretty wild. They evened it up though. Game 3 goes to them, and this is where they take the 3 to lead. Yep, and we're going to lose. So we get to round 1 finally, but it does not matter at the end of the day because we are going to probably lose to Memphis here by 5, or in 5, I guess. And yeah, so that's exactly what happened. So pretty crazy, but we have tried to turn this Suns franchise around in some weird ways. We've made some pretty wild trades in this video, not going to lie. But that is going to continue. Clearly, we're still not good enough. The Blazers finally get Milwaukee's pick. Do I fire David Vanderpool? I think I do. I think we fire him and try to get an actual, so Nick Nurse, I can try for. Who's making all the money on this team? We just don't have the budget to sign. I mean, does firing your GM free up more money? I don't know. It doesn't. Okay, I thought it would, but it does not at all. So Mike Brown, I mean, can we get anybody real, I guess? Charles Lee I'll go for. I'm just going to see if I can get any of these head coaches. We'll go for Joe Mazzulla. What do we got? So Mike Brown. Oh, we can get Joe Mazzulla. So I'll go Joe Mazzulla. So we'll sign Joe Mazzulla, and we'll go straight to Ricky signing. Or I guess let's see if we have a draft pick for anybody. I don't think we've really traded many players for picks necessarily. So yeah, none of that's going on. Player options, we got Drake Powell and then Samuel Jackson. Qualifying offers, Ryan Dunn and Tyler Kolek are free agents. I'm going to bring both of them back. And for free agency, so Ryan Dunn, as I mentioned, Ogadaro is a free agent as well. Kolek, if we can get him back, that's great. Okay, I'm going to make one more final shakeup on this team. And I think it's going to be with Şengün. So Cameron Thomas, probably not someone I want to play at point guard anymore. So I'm going to move him to shooting guard, even if he just come off the bench or whatever. I don't know. Cameron Thomas, Drake Powell, Barnes, Jabari, and then Şengün. So if I trade Şengün, obviously I need a different center. The reason why we trade Şengün is to get, I guess, a more defensive-minded 5. I don't know. Or maybe we could just roll with what we, we'll just run it back with the same team. We can get Derek Lively and Daniel Gafford, which is interesting, not going to lie. I mean, I don't get Derek Lively all that often. We could see how it turns out. We can get Donovan Clingan and Zaire Williams. Sure, why not? Let's do the Mavericks trade. We're going to send Şengün over to Dallas to pair with Luka, assuming they still have him. We'll get Lively and Gafford. So that's going to give us our new center rotation from Dallas. So now we don't really have a point guard at the moment, but we could maybe fix that with... I mean, we could, I guess, move Cameron Thomas back if needed, but... Jackson and Richards. We can get Kolek back. Anybody? Dame Sarr. 7 points per game. Markelle Fultz, I guess, is a backup if we want that. And yeah, sure, why not? So we'll grab Markelle Fultz as a backup point guard. We get a top 10 protected first as well. And then we can get Peyton Pritchard as our starting point guard if we want. So just overall a weird roster that we've assembled. Give me a flyer on Isaiah Collier. Why not? Kolek, we don't bring him back. We do. Sure. Let's go play progression. Maybe we could trade Cameron Thomas for a point guard too. Maybe that experiment has failed. And we've just been trading guys left and right. I mean, yeah. Drake Powell did not go up more than... I thought Drake Powell would go up more at this point. He just has not. So maybe we could trade Drake Powell for a point guard. So Cameron Thomas is going to be the scorer on this team. And yeah, you know what? Screw it. Collier starting at point guard. That's fine. We'll rock with it. We'll see how this... I'm going to make this the final season. This has overall just been a weird rebuild. And I've turned this roster into... I don't even know what. So, probably the wildest team I've ever assembled. Not going to lie. We'll see. I keep saying if it's going to pay off. I don't think it will. But you know what? A man can dream. We'll see what happens. Cameron Thomas wins Clutch Player of the Year for us on the Phoenix Suns, which is fantastic. But now it's all time to find out if we've finally assembled the roster to go win a championship. I can't confidently say we have. This is such a weird team we've put together. But you know what? I'm all for it. Let's see if we get a championship here. Let's at least win a playoff series today, right? Like, we get the Lakers round 1. They have a good team. Peterson, Trae Young, Anthony Davis, Bronny James up to an 86 overall. So... only current round against LA, and let's see if we can get past round 1. And of course, we're down 3-2. Okay. Well, let's see if we can tie this series up to win game 5 and then win game 6 and go to a game 7. We have a nice little lead right now, but they could close out at any moment. So they won't. 118-108. I'm just hoping to get out of round 1, honestly, at this point. Get me out of round 1. I'd feel a little decent. I don't really want to end the video on a round 1 loss, but 2K may not care about my feelings. So let's see how this goes. It's going to be close. We're going to steal it at the end, but can we keep the lead is the question. And we are going to get out of round 1, I think. Yeah, we got out of round 1. Okay, you know what? I'll take it. Not a championship, but we got out of round 1. But now we get Minnesota as Rob Dillingham. Oh, Cameron Boozer. Oh, yeah, it's over. They got Chris. They got Julius Randle. I don't think we beat this team, but we can give it a try. You know what? Maybe we could get weird here, and maybe we play Cameron Thomas at point guard for these playoffs. You know what? Screw it. Let's do it. Cameron Thomas moving to point guard. We're gonna have Drake Powell start. This is the starting 5 we'll rock with, and we'll see if it works out for us. Game 1 goes to Minnesota. Game 2, we even it up. Game 3 goes to us. Okay. Can we win game 4? Game 5? Oh my, okay. We've made it to the conference finals. That Cameron Thomas change made a massive difference. But we get the Spurs now, who have Boogie, Liam, Keldon, Coleman Hawkins, Wembanyama, Darius. Yeah. This one's going to be tough, but we'll see what happens. 1-0 start. Bro, moving Cameron Thomas to the point guard was the best decision I ever made. We just swept the Spurs and are in the finals. Holy moly. Now we get the Boston Celtics. Did we make it this far just to lose to Boston? That is definitely possible. Let's find out. Game 1 goes to us. Game 2, they even it up. Game 3 goes to them. Game 4, let's see if we can go even this bad boy up to make this an interesting series. We may have got to the finals, but it looks like we may fall short of our goal unless we take the lead here at the end. Nope. And I think that's all she wrote. Wait a minute. It's not over yet. It's not over till it's over. Not over till it's over. Can we force a game 7? Got to get back in this game very quickly. I don't know if we're going to do it. We're not going to a game 7. We lose. Okay. You know what? This overall was just a weird rebuild. I got them to the finals. Honestly, this video was quite unrealistic, but hey, I hope you enjoyed it anyway. I'll see you on the next one. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.